College Football Breakdown, brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen, helping injured people throughout Utah for over 30 years.
And now for the final time this season, we welcome in Christian Cox and David Nixon. We've appreciated their insight and analysis throughout the year. BYU's defense in this game, especially in the second half, was the difference in this one.
Yeah, you recovered fumble for a touchdown. Fred Warren with his interception. Defense stood up to the test. Offensive, they kind of sputtered a little bit, but eventually got enough points on the board.
Yeah, it's been something all season that BYU's really improved in going to that 4-3 with Kalani Sitake. And let's start off right with Fred Warner. Right, a guy that is definitely improved in his pass covering skills. I think he gets an A grade in here. Where he needs to improve is definitely his physicality in the run game, but this will get you drafted. If you want to be a top 3 rounder, you got to put some weight on.
You look at Fred, he's out there in space. They pretty much put him at nickel this year. He's been that feature guy at the nickel spot. He does a great job of baiting the quarterback Myers back here. He's going to sit in his zone. He's going to realize the guy's going to come into his zone. Receiver sits on it, backs up, and he baits him in there and jumps at the last second. Interception. Great ball hawk. The skills that he has to be able to track it is phenomenal. But like you said, he'll work, continue to develop. He has one more year. He'll get a little stronger, a little bigger, and the run stop, but pass game, he's phenomenal.
And this is the same thing that you saw against Boise State, right? Him playing that nickel, dropping into coverage and baiting those quarterbacks and getting him in a bad situation. So going over to Taysom Hill, right? Obviously a tough injury for him to be injured on the final play, but he had a huge throw in triple coverage on third down to get you a lead that was just a perfect throw from him.
Yeah, and a great pocket by the offensive line. They only rushed 3, so that means they're dropping 8. And you see 4 zone underneath. You're going to have 4 up top. And you're going to see up top, Mitch Jurgens does a fantastic job stemming out the DB, and he's going to put his foot in the ground and roll right back in. We call that a little whirl route. Okie dokes, there's a lot of names for it, but Mitch comes up with a big grab. This is third down, so if he doesn't get in the end zone, they have to settle for a field goal, but instead, big touchdown. Yeah,
and you get a larger lead, a play that this is Taysom's strength, throwing downhill fast, putting it in a tight window, doesn't have great over-the-top throwing ability, but great throw from him, taking that lead against Utah State, which you should have.
And this was great to see, obviously, prior to the injury, to be able to have Taysom throw a dart in there, and, obviously later is the injury, but this is one of those highlight plays that, on your senior night, your last time in the stadium, it's one of those plays you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and going over to another senior, right? Jamal Williams, right? A guy that you've missed playing on the field. It was great to have him back. What a special player, what a special season he's had. BYU is definitely going to miss him next year.
Yeah, this was huge. I mean, BYU's offense, it all starts with the run game. And you see the offensive line, fantastic push. They're all 2-3 yards down the field. Jamal, of course, having him back, 18 carries for 131 yards. Yeah. I mean, this was huge. Average 7.2 yards per carry. And once he gets out in the open, you see a couple guys missing tackles. He just continues to turn his legs. And like I said, just great to have him back.
But doesn't this look like the same plays that you saw against West Virginia, you saw against Michigan State, but you saw him flipped on the other side of the field. You get a good power pull, and you get Jamal out in space, wide, off tackle. And that's a strength. Great speed, great ball security in guys trying to get the ball out. You'll miss him. Go to Squally Canada.
It'll be nice to have him for the bowl game, for sure.
Your other guy, right? Tanner Mangum. He's going to be stepping in from what it looks like from Taysom with his arm. Didn't look good. Great throw and catch for him on third down as well to get a touchdown. Yeah,
we'll see what the results are back from the MRI, but as of now, Tanner came in, filled in well, and it's a nice touchdown pass where you lose the defender, rolls out. But Colby Pearson does a fantastic job of coming back to the ball. We've seen that with BYU receivers that really struggled muscling guys out. Finally, Colby Pearson comes back to the ball. Big touchdown as well to kind of, grow that lead for BYU.
And we're most receivers, right? Tanner was trying to go left side to trips, right? There was 5-wide play. Colby Pearson's battling. Most receivers will give up on the play. He battles tough, keeps his hips. He's not a real strong receiver. Comes up with a big reception, gets a touchdown for Tanner Mangum.
And potentially this is your starter right here for the bowl game, Tanner Mangum.
And all next year.
Yeah, assuming that Taysom can't play in that game, and it doesn't look like he will be, you look back on his career, this is just heartbreaking. 3 times against Utah State. What are the odds of this going out and having a season-ending injury against Utah State on that field?
Yeah, as former players, it's something that you train all year for, and then you got guys like Taysom that come back from injuries, career potentially ending injuries, comes back to fights on, and hey, listen, he left everything on the field. I mean, I think if you're Taysom, you walk away from him and say, listen, I played my best ball, I left all out there, it is what it is.
For me, it's a freak injury, and it makes no sense when he's their strongest player. He's their strongest player across all the board, and for him to have season-ending injuries 3 years in a row is just brutal.
Perhaps the greatest athlete that's ever put on a BYU football uniform.
All right, guys, stick around. Got one more to do.